This is how I've been losing my belly fat by focusing on insulin resistance. Now, I have not been counting calories, I have not eliminated carbs, and I've not been doing any extreme exercise. I'll also show you my before and after picture so far. One of the best things about what I'm doing is you can do this for free. Full disclosure, there are a couple of food-based products that make this much easier, which I have been purchasing. So for those that are interested, I'll talk about those as well. If you've been watching my videos, this is the same exact system that Matt was on. He was a type 2 diabetic for 14 years before he found this. I've also mentioned Scott. He lost 70 pounds and got off all of his medications. She was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and insulin resistance. Right now in the United States of America, roughly 100 million people are suffering from the symptoms of insulin resistance. Now, if we can address the root cause, the insulin resistance, then perhaps a lot of the nasty symptoms will completely disappear like they did for these other people. The science behind the approach I'm about to show you has been done by scientists and researchers who are far smarter than I am. I've already done TikTok videos on these things. I'm not going to spend time on it now. If you're interested, you can go take a look. For thousands of years, before we were eating 3 meals a day, 6 meals a day, or snacking all day, we were fasting and feeding. When we have excess body fat and we're fasting, we're not starving, we're just switching fuel sources. Most of us have hundreds of thousands of calories of available fat for fuel, and our bodies feel great burning fat. Now to do this, we need to keep our glucose and insulin levels low, and so we need to avoid snacking. Now this can be very difficult for some people. I'm going to show you a way to make it much easier. When it's time to eat, we should be enjoying good food. We still want to avoid glucose and insulin spikes, and there's ways to do this naturally. We also want to avoid overeating. Now that's of course the hard part, but there's also ways to make this much easier. This process can be adjusted for just about any schedule or lifestyle. For me, when I wake up, I'm keeping insulin levels low and I'm burning my fat for fuel. To control glucose and insulin spikes, prior to meals, I focus on natural, soluble, and insoluble plant fibers. When it's time to eat, I enjoy nice, big, substantial meals which prioritize protein, healthy fat, and of course, fiber. This keeps my insulin levels in check, and between meals, I don't snack so I can burn more fat for fuel. If you've seen my videos, you've seen that I do eat carbs, and that's why it's so important that I get the soluble fiber pre-meal. For dinner, I do the same thing again. Now, while fasting at the beginning of the day and between meals, there is no snacking. Snacking is the enemy. Water is great. So if you want to do this for free, while fasting, water only, and then when it comes to mealtime, have soluble fiber before the meal, prioritize protein, healthy fat, and fiber. I do use some products to help me with this. There's a product called Unimate, and by taking the Unimate, I'm able to avoid snacking. It's very sustaining, it's wonderful stuff. I've done some videos on the Unimate, you can see those videos. Because it's not realistic for me to eat a bunch of veggies and fibers before my regular meal, I supplement. There's no magic to this. Balance is a patented fiber blend that helps you avoid glucose and insulin spikes. I usually have another Unimate during the day so I can avoid snacking between meals. And fiber is so satiating that it really prevents me from overeating, which is something I've struggled with. The products have helped me avoid snacking, avoid overeating, and kept my glucose and insulin levels low. It's the best system that I'm aware of for insulin resistance, and it's the only one that I'm aware of that's guaranteed.